Morning, everybody. Welcome back. Kevin, jumping into episode 11, I believe, of the first season of The Sopranos. Had a bit of a departure episode. We'd had so much of Junior and Livia and Mikey kind of building towards this impending conflict with Tony, and completely stepped away from that. Right? We didn't see any of those characters in the last episode. Instead, we were introduced to a new character, Massive, uh, a rapper who has a legitimate beef with Hesh over money owed for past music recordings, and his weird interest in Adriana. Was a really Adriana heavy episode as well. Of course, for me, the best thing about the last episode was Tony's understanding, right, that he didn't really fit into the legitimate rich world, even when he tried. When he went and played golf with his neighbor and his aristocratic friends, and I realized pretty quickly he was just there to entertain them with tales of the mob. And then when he went to see Dr. Melfi, the anecdote he told about the little kid that they used to that had a cleft palate, and they would have the kid come over just to make fun of him, but the kid wanted to hang out with him, so he did it anyway, even though it emotionally destroyed the kid. Man, that was a great scene. Obviously, James Gandolfini can really bring it as an actor, but I really enjoyed that episode a lot. It set up a lot of new things moving forward, right? So not only do we have the stuff with Junior and Livia and Mikey, all knowing that Tony's seeing a therapist slash believing that he's writing to the FBI, but now we have Massive, who seems to be coming after Christopher's girlfriend Adriana, who seems to be really into her. Um, and also his pending lawsuits and maybe an escalation with Hesh and the Sopranos over music rights. So a lot to resolve in the last three episodes, which obviously none of this is guaranteed to be resolved this season. This doesn't strike me as the kind of show where they neatly tie everything in a bow at the end of the season and start fresh the next season. But I do expect some big things as we get towards the end here. I do want to thank all of our Patreon subscribers for being here. I want to give a special thank you to Actuarial Lurker, Balas Fuldez, Chris, Jeff, NJ, and Suri Gundavarapu. Thanks so much, guys. Really happy you're here with us. If you'd like to see a full-length reaction to this and everything else we've watched or watching, please check out a link in the description below to our Patreon page. On every show, including The Sopranos, we're at least 4 episodes ahead on Patreon of where we are on YouTube. So if you get done watching the edits on YouTube of this and want to keep going, you can do it there. You will have to sync and watch along on your own source material. You will only see and hear me for copyright purposes. We are also watching 30 Rock as a Patreon exclusive. I really liked Massive as a new character, a new inciting incident character. I don't know how long he'll be here or how long it's going to take to resolve his storyline. Obviously, I don't think he's going to be around forever. And, I don't know how long Hesh is going to be here. Hesh might find himself on the wrong end of this conflict as well. Yeah, we've seen it a little bit more than once. Christopher's inability to control his emotions. I don't think that's going away anytime soon as an issue for the show, for the characters on the show. I would be surprised if Christopher is still around at the end of the series because of his hot-headedness. I mean, we all know what. If you've seen The Godfather, you know how James Caan things went for James Caan.
FBI, nobody move!
Hey! Come on, it's a friendly card game.
Relax, Jimmy. Got one of the bust-up card games I've ever donut in my mouth.
Oh boy. Hey! Okay, I was wondering why he's looking so weird.
Who is he? He's a man who loves his family above all else. Well, guess what? That's their favorite target.
Why is he doing this? I don't believe it. Because the way he's looked at him when he was coming out of the house of ill repute, I feel like he's planning this.
It's what they call negative attention getting.
Well, maybe I should call her back.
That's just what she wants you to do.
I think he's probably right. Livia is the devil.
You all right?
Yeah, it's just my back. They got me on these elephant pills.
Go easy on him. Go ahead, sit down. Take it easy.
And the weird thing is if that cop is lying, and I feel like he is, when Tony knows that, it's going to be dangerous for him.
The guy gives him the works. MRIs, CAT scans, DOLT scans, you name it.
You can't necessarily tell, though. I mean, he could be in real pain.
He's complaining about his back, but I think the doctor thinks it's all in his head. What do you think?
I think we should just keep this about you.
Yeah, she can't diagnose a guy.
What kind of mental stuff would cause a backache?
For conversation's sake?
Absolutely.
He's gonna end up screaming and cussing, isn't he?
Psychologically, a secret is a heavy load. It leads to feelings of guilt which further burden the mind.
Yeah, this is gonna be a problem. Maybe he is. Maybe he isn't wearing a wire, ratting, or whatever.
They have absolutely no class, and they're always on the hustle.
That's kind of what they're supposed to do, no?
Yeah, this guy saying these women have no class is pretty gross. I don't like him. This guy has no class.
You felt bad that you didn't come to the open house. And I don't care if you think it's disrespectful, but I want you to cut the drama.
I love Carmela right now.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about this. This poor mother, nobody loves me, victim crap. It is textbook manipulation.
Carmela's rocking right now.
It's none of anybody's business.
Oh, my God. I am not saying that. All I am saying is if you don't want it, give it to Junior.
I know what you're hinting at.
Oh my God, she can't turn it off.
What is wrong?
Man, she just goes to her bag of tricks every time, doesn't she?
Well, at least with Junior, somebody listens to me and doesn't treat me like an old shoe.
I know I should probably be empathizing with her a little bit here, but I don't buy this for a second. She can't turn off the manipulation.
So your father tells me you're taking up astronomy in college.
No, business.
Well, how come he keeps saying you're taking up space in school?
That's pretty funny. For a dad joke.
Things are happening, Tony.
What kind of things?
Things.
He's going to take that wrong.
Come on.
Help me up. You want coffee? Who's gonna make it? You?
1, 2, 3.
See, if he's getting a CAT scan or an MRI or whatever, but he's pulled muscles in his back, that's not going to show up, right? I'm no doctor or lab tech, but he could have a hurt back.
Are you sure about this, Tony?
No.
90%. I've been walking on the walls all week.
Carmela accused him of being paranoid in the last episode, and I think she's right.
We need to be 110%
Okay,
sure.
good. Okay, good.
I want you to see it. Otherwise, all bets are off. You understand?
I mean, I don't think that's unfair. I think if you see him wearing the wire, then you know what he's doing.
She's more connected to the world.
Which one? This one or Neptune?
I mean, this is good.
Tell her her house sold and they accepted the counter offer.
So is he getting the wrong idea about Junior and Livia too? Yeah, that was funny. The Godfather theme horn.
Here.
I don't know.
Come on, get undressed. It's on me.
This is actually clever.
Look, Paulie, I appreciate it, but maybe another time, huh?
Take your clothes off.
This makes him look guilty, doesn't it?
My doctor mentioned steam and sauna specifically as no-nos.
This doesn't help. Is that a real thing? I've never heard that before.
All right, go back in. I gotta think.
If that's true, this cop is really playing a dangerous game to try to get out of a debt.
Keep moving, please.
He's on administrative leave. Where's he trying to get in such a hurry? Oh, no, he's got something there he shouldn't. Oh, he's on his way to turn his stuff in. I think. Or he had it all bagged up.
Oh, go right ahead, detective. Excuse me, move it out, please.
I'm kind of bummed out that he got a special pass. I mean, professional courtesy, whatever. I know he's a scumbag, but...
It wasn't like he was dealing.
That's not why he did it. Don't get me wrong, it was the straw, but he was not happy.
That's very clear.
Did he ever mention anything about my guys to you?
He didn't like Paulie. He thought he was a psycho.
Paulie's kind of a psycho.
I'm not gonna lie, because he's dead. He didn't have a good thing to say about anybody, but did feel like he could trust you, Tony.
That's kind of sad.
He said many times that at least with Tony Soprano, you know where you stand.
This is the first time I've really kind of felt bad for the guy.
He sold a house.
Hey, don't people have names anymore? Who's he?
Anthony. He sold my house.
Well, what else was he supposed to do with it?
Suits? Pleurisy? More than once he was here? Why didn't I know
Rod.
about this?
Well, maybe it was you they were talking about.
Oh my God, she sucks so much. Let's start a war between these guys because your house sold. Junior, come on, man.
No, I just don't like being put in the middle of things.
Cannot stand this woman.
Instead of living in normal homes with their sons, like human beings.
You didn't want to live there. Junior and Tony should just talk.
I don't like that kind of talk. Now just stop it. It upsets me.
Oh, she is the devil.
I have to.
Oh, God. What?
Well, what have I
did
done?
Say now?
This is the most evil character on this show.
I suppose I should have just kept my mouth shut, like a mute. And then everybody would have been happy.
If they're watching this, do any of you have any defense for her? I'm assuming we're all kind of on the same side about what this person is.
Well, you never see me again. How come?
So what happened?
Long story. You got someplace in private we could talk?
Yeah, in the basement.
Is this going to make things better or worse?
You better lay low with that safe house money.
What are you talking about?
They were asking me a lot of questions in there, you know?
Is he wearing a wire?
So, what are you gonna do about the Colombian money?
Oh, yeah, he's the one wired.
It's only lucky prick like you would get pinched with a gun while he's out on bail for something else and still be out in time for dinner. You're a lucky guy.
Okay, Tony's thinking the same way I was.
Jesus, Tony. You don't think, Paulie jumped the gun?
Oh, no.
Nobody knows anything.
I haven't seen him since the Schwitz. He refused to take his clothes off.
Ah, this is still messed up.
Here we go. All right.
Hey, I haven't seen Mikey for a while.
Truckload fell off the loading dock at Zim's last night.
It's always funny that it just falls off. Yeah.
He's decided on that thing. He said we should look out of town for who's gonna do it.
Oh my God, they are actually gonna hit Tony.
Can you tell me? Oh, come on, Mikey. Tell me. Come on, please.
See, this woman strikes me as the thing that everyone says Carmela is, but isn't.
And to add insult to injury, he was planning on making a move against Junior.
Man, he's just spilling everything.
And what are you doing standing there? Make the coffee.
Take it easy. Take it easy. It's brewing.
I mean, obviously, this isn't going to work, but because Tony's going to be around, but this is a mess. This big P still not showing up. This is like next day stuff. Showing the garbage barge there seemed pretty loaded. Yeah, man. I don't think he's okay. I don't know if Paulie's lying or if somebody else thought they were going to step up and do the thing, but I don't think he's okay. And this mess just gets more and more tangled, right? Somebody's going to try to kill Tony. I'm operating under the assumption that they're going to fail spectacularly on some level, but you know, Junior killing Tony because of something Livia said over her house getting sold is so on brand for all of them. Just when I was starting to really like Junior, you know, I was coming around on him. But we knew this was coming. But it just really sucks for everyone involved that Livia's mouth and her manipulation is the thing that's working so well to make it happen. And I don't know where you get to course correct on that. I mean, in an ideal world, Tony and Junior would sit down and talk about Livia. Here's what she's saying. Here's what she's doing. You do realize this is just her manipulating the situation to pit us against each other, which it clearly is. I love the fact that Carmela went to visit her and called her out 100% on what she was doing. And Livia just crying the poor me stuff, you know, on the way up to get Carmela out the door was just textbook manipulation, and selfishness and no care for anybody but herself. Livia's terrible. I know I'm not saying anything I haven't said a million times, and I'm sure all of you who have watched The Sopranos all the way through were like, "Oh yeah, we know." We've all seen it, but man, you know, I know I repeat it, but it is something that you just when you actually sit through and watch the episodes for the first time, that is at the forefront of your brain, right? Oh my God, this woman is terrible, and she was a terrible mother in always, right? We see in flashbacks she was a terrible mother when they were kids. She's a terrible mother now. I'm kind of curious. I can't remember her name. Tony's sister. Um, I'm assuming at some point in the run of the show we're going to meet the adult version of her. Um, I don't know what the context will be, but I think there's a reason that we saw her. That she's going to be an important person moving forward. Um, kind of surprised that like she wasn't contacted about the selling the house and everything. She may have been. I mean, obviously that's not a major plot point. She's not a major plot point yet, but when the attempt on Tony's life happens, and I think it will, unless Junior comes to his senses in some way and calls it off early, that's obviously a possibility. But if the attempt happens, then there's no way there cannot be a full fledged war between Tony and Junior, and when that happens, do the main players understand what Livia's role is in all of that? I don't think we get through the whole show with Livia being clean, as far as people not saying, okay, on some level, Tony or Junior or both are going to have to figure out, oh my God, all of this has been orchestrated by this very self-centered, awful person. Um, you know, Tony and Junior are themselves selfish in a lot of ways, but I don't think they're so monomaniacal that one of them isn't going to figure out how this has been orchestrated by her. And I don't know what the carnage is going to be before we get to that point, but it's going to be there for sure. I'm assuming that there's going to be some violence moving forward before we get to that point. I can't wait. I don't know if it's going to be this season because we only have a couple episodes left this season, or if this is a thing, because this could be a really big thing that drags out for many episodes, maybe even multiple seasons. This thing between Junior and Tony that really should have been avoidable. But I guess we shall see. And then obviously the police are the police and the FBI are going to be important parts of that moving forward, as well as oppositional forces. And I can't remember the other. Silvio, was that his name? The one who was it? No, it wasn't. Who's the actual rat? I'm totally blanking out on his name. But how are they going to deal with him? The one that's actually wearing the wire and reporting to the police. And what happened to P, Big P? When he's got kids in college. You hope everything's okay. If he's not, then who did what, and what's Tony's reaction going to be? Especially knowing that figuring out that he set this in motion despite the fact that his friend wasn't a rat. How does he handle all of that? Which would be kind of an interesting arc for Tony, like in terms of, because he's dealt with a lot of stuff, a lot of pressure, but he hasn't dealt with guilt yet. And I feel like this is a thing a little bit with Anthony Jr., right? Like, if I've been a bad father, is my son struggling because this is a cyclical, thing. Remember the flashback episode where his son was being tested for ADD? So there was a little bit of guilt maybe there, like, is this my fault kind of thing? But not on this level. Being such a good friend of Tony's, this would be a big guilt burden that we haven't seen him deal with. So I'm kind of curious to see what that's going to look like as we move ahead. At any rate, I'll shut up and get ready, and we'll watch the next one when it comes. Thanks so much, guys. Take care.